In this video, I'm going to show you 10 steps to take before you start your print-on-demand Etsy business. By following these simple tips, you will avoid a lot of common mistakes and set yourself up for success. Now, I know what you're thinking, we're not even in 2023 yet. Why is that in the title? Well, in order to create a successful business, we need to plan ahead. So sit back and relax and let me explain everything in this video so you can have a successful print-on-demand shop moving into 2023. Let's get into it. All right, so number one, don't use POD or print on demand in your keywords. The term POD or print on demand is just an industry standard term that we use to know how the business is run. Your shoppers aren't necessarily going to know that, and that's something that they might not even use to search. For example, if a shopper is looking for a black cat t-shirt, they're not going to be searching black cat t-shirt print on demand. Right? They're not looking for products that are only in the print on demand service. And yes, you do want to include that in your shop bio, in your about page, letting them know that that is the type of business you're in, but not necessarily on how they want to search. So make sure in your titles and tags, you're only including relevant keywords based on what the consumers are searching for. By focusing on the keywords that are true to your products, that will really increase the chance of being found by potential customers. But on the other hand, let's say you're selling digital downloads or printables, you might want to include that in your title. So for example, a buyer searching for wall art is different than a buyer searching for printable wall art. So keep that in mind depending on what products you're offering. All right, so number two is customer research. This is definitely the most important step, and it's what lays the foundation to create a successful shop. So I have a lot of other videos regarding to this topic, but I'll list out some of the key factors to consider. So number one, understanding your primary keywords. So this is knowing what are the main keywords you'll be using throughout your shop, but also understanding what those keywords are. And you can figure that out by understanding what the supply and demand ratios are, knowing how many people are searching for those keywords and how much competitions there are. That way you can determine which keywords you want to focus on depending on the products you're selling. Number two are designs. You want to know what the landscape looks like in your category. You want to know what the best sellers are doing, what ways you can improve on those products. And at the end of the day, you can have the best SEO in the world, but if you don't have a good product, a good design, especially in the print on demand space, then it's not going to work out. All right, so number three are mockups, which I'll explain later on in this video. So pro tip, during your researching phase, let's say you're selling t-shirts, for example. Now you're doing all your researching, looking up what other sellers are selling, but something else you might want to consider is researching other categories, other types of print on demand, other types of designs in other fields, and see how you can implement those designs and get inspiration from them for your t-shirt business. Because if everyone is looking at the same source, if everyone is trying to compete with each other with the same designs, right? There's no innovation in that space. So one tip is to look elsewhere, get inspiration from another category. It could be something totally different, unrelated, but just by exploring that realm, you'll find a lot of good opportunities to bring it back into your own category. All right, if you're enjoying this so far, make sure to subscribe if you want to learn more about how to sell on Etsy successfully. I've been selling on Etsy for over a decade now, and I think I can really help you out to build a successful shop and ultimately create financial freedom. So if that sounds good to you, make sure to subscribe. All right, so number three are order samples. So knowing the quality of your products is definitely important, but for me, as someone that's very product driven, I like to see how the designs look in person, especially looking at it physically in real life. The scale of what your design is can look really different from the computer screen and also from the mock-ups. A quick example is, let's say you're just doing a simple t-shirt design, and if you have like an emblem at the front pocket here, sometimes you might think you have the right placement until you have it physical hand. Then you can see, oh my God, I need to make this smaller. I need to adjust it to different sizing. Maybe it's too close to the center. Little things like that you cannot really see until you have the product in hand. And once you get a feel for it, after doing it a couple of times, you'll have a lot better idea and you won't have to do that for every single new design you create. Also, if you're using Printify as your print-on-demand service, you'll want to check out the link below for a 30-day free premium plan. And with this plan, you'll be able to order sample pieces or normal inventory at a discounted price. So that way, if you're ordering samples, you can get it cheaper. And after 30 days, you can just go back to normal free plan until you scale up your business, and then you can hop back on it. So check it out in the link below. Number four is don't offer too many colors. Another mistake I see a lot of early print-on-demand sellers make is just to offer way too many colors. The last thing you want to do is to overwhelm your customers. So for example, have you ever been to a restaurant and you're looking over the menu and it's just like lists and lists and pages of food? I don't know about you, but I get very overwhelmed by that. I'd rather get a simple menu, which is the top 10, maybe even less than that, right? So something to consider is to not do that. All right, so number 5 is to make sure you have room and space in your credit card. So when starting out, it might get confusing on knowing where the money is handled, like who orders the product on Printify, and how do you receive it, who pays the print on demand service, and things like that. So let me break it down for you. When a customer orders a product from you on Etsy, let's say it's $50. Etsy will automatically send that information to your print on demand service, like Printify, for example. Etsy won't send that $50 to Printify. They keep that on their platform until your next scheduled payday. All right. So then now when Printify receives the order from Etsy, they will automatically fulfill the order and also automatically charge your credit card. So there will be a period of time where your credit card is charged with the amount. Let's say it's $25 for the product itself, and the time when Etsy pays you out on your payday. So when that payday comes, let's say you get the $50 minus the fees and everything, the $50 will pay back the $25 on your credit card. So keep that in mind. There is going to be a period of time where you do have to pay the print on demand service first before you get the money from Etsy. Okay, so number 6 are mockups. So earlier I mentioned that mockups is a key factor to the researching phase. So let's dive a little deeper here. What you want to do is researching the best sellers in this area, figuring out how they're showcasing their products. Are they doing a close-up photo? Do they have someone holding it? Isn't it a lifestyle shot? Does it show someone's face? Is there a size chart to it? What are they using for their main image? So all these things you want to analyze and see what you can do and understand what makes it a good product, what makes their product successful and become a bestseller, and how you can implement similar strategies to do it yourself. Another mockup tip is to create unique mockup designs. Try not to use the stock photos from your print-on-demand services like Printify. Like, I love you guys, Printify, but those are stock images that everyone else is using. So one way to stand out and create unique ones is using mockups from Placeit or Creative Market. Placeit is an easier place to do drag and drops and have all these different types of mockups from t-shirts, mugs, wall art, pillowcases, right? All this stuff. And Creative Market is a bit more advanced because you need to know how to use Photoshop for the most part. But if you do, that one's great for you. So number 7 is that there's more to print on demand than t-shirts. So when I started print on demand years ago, selling t-shirts was the go-to product for this business model. But now there are so many different types of products to choose from. You can do wall art, pillowcases, phone cases, curtains, as well as tote bags, candles, right? There's so many more to choose from. So keep that in mind, and you don't have to stick with t-shirts. Check out what's out there before you begin. Okay, so number 8 is to repurpose your designs. So if you're spending all this time creating a really unique design, you might want to showcase it in different products. And a tip I have is that if you have a really cool design, but you feel like it's not selling, it's not moving, no one wants it, try putting it into a different product. So for example, I was coaching a new Etsy seller and they were selling really beautiful vertical designs for t-shirts, but it wasn't selling. And when I looked at these designs, they were all vertical, kind of an ombre style design. I figured, hey, maybe you should try selling on phone cases. And since she was able to change it from selling t-shirts to phone cases, her sales went up. Okay, so it's a matter of understanding what designs work well with what products. So keep that in mind. If you feel like your products aren't moving in a certain category, try moving it to a different medium, and that might work out for you. Number 9 is to get feedback from friends and family. I know you've probably heard this a lot, but it is really, really important. And one way to take one step further is once you have your designs or your mockups, you want to save them into a folder and go back to Etsy or your other competitor platforms and save other top seller platforms that you're competing with. Put them all in a folder, go back to your friends and family and ask them, without telling them which one's yours, which one do they like better? And if they pick one of your competitors instead of yours, then go back to the drawing board. Continue to redesign, make something aesthetic, and put it back into the folder and keep asking them and keep reiterating, making sure you get to a point where yours are the number one pick. Okay, so this is quite an intense strategy that I used to do, but this can really help you to create a really good collection. All right, so number 10 is to think globally. So if you think about Printify, they have fulfillment centers all around the world. And same with Etsy. This is a global marketplace. The point is, when it comes to creating designs, don't be afraid to think outside the box and leverage the different opportunities and trends around the world. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you have not already. I know a lot of you guys are watching my videos, but aren't actual subscribers. And I'd truly appreciate it if you would. It really helps support the channel so I can continue creating good content for you. But yeah, until then, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.